By definition, an antenna is a metal whip designed to receive and transmit radio signals within a given area.
It's BS in the Morning on KSLQ and Westplex 1071.
Westplex 1071. You are listening to BS.Show. I am Shelley. He is Brad. He will be around momentarily. If hopefully he will grace us with his presence here shortly. And what is today? Today's Tuesday. It's the last Tuesday of the year, of the month.
Congratulations, butthead.
Wow. Thanks, Brad.
Google may have to lay off up to 25 members of Congress. That's how bad it'll be.
All we want to do is... That's true.
Woohoo!
That is so you. I
Don't
don't
be
care
smart
what you
magic
say.
together.
And by the way, my Corvette's in a locked garage, okay? So it's not like you're sitting out in the street.
Who doesn't love a yellow school
kabuki.
bus, right? Can you raise your hand if you love a yellow school bus, right?
I know
There's
you love
something
that, but
about
it's so silly.
most of us, many of us went to school on the yellow school bus, right?
Not as bad as it could have, but he was gentle on me.
That was the dog, by the way.
What does the fox say?
Ba-choo, 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 ba-choo. Doink.
I had prostate problems that were driving me nuts.
Oh, you found him.
We didn't have tornadoes here
That's
until
going
we
a
started
long
putting
way
into
back.
traffic circles. When people go round and round in circles, it causes disturbance in the atmosphere and causes tornadoes.
They'd actually breathe in my nostrils to make me move, to get me moving.
People are suffering. People are dying.
I'm sorry, I couldn't resist.
Yes, you could have, but you did not.
I got my morning fill.
Huh?
I got my morning fill. I snorted again. I got my morning fill of all the goofy stuff. And someone the other day asked me how come I never play Trump drops. I got them, but I can't find them. They're there somewhere. They disappeared. I've got 12 pages of these things now. Now I'm up on page 11. I'm almost finished with page 11. There's 25 on each page because there's 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's 5 columns. It's like a spreadsheet kind of deal. And there's 25 in each page. So figure I've got 11 pages of these now. And most of them are you.
Yes, I know that, Brad. Thank you.
I snorted again. I'm sorry. All the goofy stuff I said. By the way,
All the goofy stuff you said.
for those of you getting on the road this morning right now, still a little caution advised because some of that stuff that melted yesterday, and man, it was nasty up until probably around noon in a lot of places. Matter of fact, I went a couple places. I got on an exit ramp on, what was I on, 270? And as I hit that exit ramp, I thought to myself, oh man, I'm going off the road. You know, one of those things where the rear end kicked out a little bit and the car started to fishtail, you know, and the front sort of went sideways. And I'm thinking, man, I'm going to end up in a guardrail, but I didn't. So, and that was like at 10:30 yesterday morning. I mean, it was not, you know, that's the worst case scenario. You start off with the freezing rain. It puts down this, you know, this like freezing ice coating on the ground, on the, you know, the pavement, you know, blacktop, whatever you want to call it, asphalt, concrete, and then it snows on top of that. You know, it's like, okay, can we make it any slicker? You know what I'm saying? That's the nasty stuff. The stuff we had last week, no big deal. That slushy junk, you know, it's like the slushy machine at the 7-Eleven. You know, it's just no big deal. You know?
NBD?
Yeah, NBD, no big deal.
Okay.
Lots of stuff to talk about this morning. I have to be honest with you. I am so tired.
Please be honest with me, Brad.
No, I'm so tired of hearing, you know, the black cops beat up a black guy, okay? And I'm tired of hearing the people say that's white supremacy. Can you explain that to me?
How is that white supremacy?
I have no idea. I'm going like, remember, the deal was in Minneapolis with George Floyd, white cops, black dude, okay? They said, white cops, they're terrible people, and all they want to do is kill black people, okay? Now it's black cops killing black guys, and it's the white person's fault. I don't understand. I will never understand. Oh, man. And yesterday was interesting.
So you're saying you'll never understand?
Well, see, I'm going to make a parallel, and you're going to laugh at me, or maybe you won't laugh at me. I'm going to make a parallel.
I always laugh at you, Brad.
I know you do. I'm going to make a parallel between this and global warming or climate change, whatever. everything's climate change. I mean, if all of a sudden it gets to be like, if let's say tomorrow it got to be 100 degrees, people go, oh my God, it's global climate change. And the day after it was minus 10. Oh my God, it's global climate change. You know what I mean? No matter what happens, it's global climate change. Now, no matter what happens, it's white supremacy. It's racism. Black guys kill 5 black cops. Now it's more. I don't know if you heard this now. They got 7. They fired and charged 5 of them.
Was it the whole squad?
Well, if you watch the video, guys keep showing up, and then there were two paramedics. I think worked for the city of Memphis. I think it was their ambulance service. They got fired because they didn't render aid quick enough. I'm going. I mean, the whole thing. There are certain things that, as a rule, every person in their right head is embarrassed about. Okay, that is one of them with this guy in Memphis. I mean, it's just like, okay, why did that happen? How did that happen? How did that go out of control? I mean, why did that happen? Okay, it's just S that happens. You know what I'm saying? It's just S that happens. And it happens every day. Why do we have crazy stuff all over the country, carjackings right here in St. Louis, all over the country, every single day? Every single day that happens. I've told you the story with carjackings. The carjackings, because of the fact it's the law of unintended consequences. The
law of unintended consequences.
The anti-theft systems on the cars have gotten so good that it's hard to steal them, unless it's a Hyundai or Kia. But those are easy to steal, But on most of the other cars, it's gotten so tough to steal cars. So what do? You grab them while they're running, and the keys are in the ignition. You pull up to somebody at a stoplight. Hey, out of the car. Throw them on the ground. Sometimes, unfortunately, shoot them. And you drive off in their car because guess what? The car's running and the keys are in the ignition. Now, sometimes that backfires because some of the people that have the new push-to-start keys have, like, I know, some women have that. Your car has that, doesn't it? Push-to-start? You don't have keys in your car.
Yes, it does.
So where do you keep your little fob? Do you keep it like in your purse or in your pocket or anything like that, or do you keep it in a car? Or should I?
I can't tell you.
Oh, you leave it in the car.
No, I don't.
Okay, but
the car won't lock.
But in other words, it won't lock if the fob's inside?
No.
Okay, so in other words, you have it somewhere. But a lot of women carry it in their purse. Let's be honest, right? You probably know.
Okay, I keep it in my bra.
Well,
because I don't carry a purse.
See, there's been that's not all uncommon anymore. There's been a lot of carjackings where, the guy pulls a woman out of the car, pulls her bra off, grabs her key, and away he goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Okay, whatever. Blah, blah, blah.
No, but a lot.
I keep my keys on one side of my girls, and then the other side is a little, business card case that's got all my cards in it.
Wow, there's another good drop right there.
Uh-huh.
No, but most people have the push to start with the fob things. If it's a dude.
Yes, I also have where you can turn it on and not be in it.
Yeah, you got the app, right? Thing on the app, right? You can.
No,
you don't have an app.
It's a fob. It's a button on my fob.
Oh no, I know that. But do you have like the thing where you have like an app on your phone where you can start it and stuff like that? You don't have that.
I don't have the app. No.
Okay. Well, what I was going to say is most women. I shouldn't say most because I always hate that. There are several women who have that push to start thing on with the fob in their car that keep their little fob in their purse. That way, when they show up, and you've got the thing, you've got the touch dealy too, where if you have the thing on you, if the car's locked, when you touch the door handle, it opens, right?
Yes.
Okay, you had to think about that for a minute, right?
I did.
Okay, most guys carry that in their pocket, so. If you get carjacked,
I just thought they were glad to see me.
Oh my God!
Sorry, I couldn't help it. I'm sorry.
If you get carjacked and thrown out of the car, guess what? The problem there is that once you get far away, doesn't the car shut off? If you would walk it like, okay, here's a scenario. I've driven those temporarily, like some rentals and things like that. Quite honestly, I'm old school. I like to have that key in the ignition kind of thing, but let's say you started your car, you have your fob, and then you took your fob inside and put it in your house. If you drove off, does the car stop after a while, or does it keep going?
I don't know. I haven't done that.
Interesting. Okay. I'm just curious. It's the law of unintended consequences.
It absolutely is.
You know what's gotten to be? It's interesting. I don't know why I get this stuff. First off, on Facebook, not necessarily on Facebook. Like if I look at news channels, if I look at CNN or MSNBC or Fox News on my phone, you know what I get? I've talked about this before. I get the ads for all these women's slinky underwear and like non-existent swimsuits. You know what I mean? They look like fishing line with a couple little piece of cloths on it. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, you've been looking at that
But I have not.
that Lane Bryant commercial.
No,
again.
I have not looked at. I don't look at women's underwear websites and stuff like that. I mean, why do I? And now I get the
'Cause
swimsuit
you're
things.
a dude.
No, I get the swimsuit things, and I get the fancy schmancy shoes. You know, like with the 8-inch heels and things like that. You know, like the what do they call them,
Stilettos.
the hooker heels. You know what I'm saying? I get the hooker heels.
Wow.
Well, that's what they call them, hooker heels. I get the hooker heels, and then I get the real fancy schmancy clothes. And they're all these young women who are like 22, 23. I'm going like, why are they targeting me with these ads? I don't understand that. You know, because they tell, oh, we know where you are and we know what you do and we know how old you are. And I'm thinking to myself, first off, you know, I don't, even my daughter is like in her 30s now, you know, so it's not like I have young kids that I would want to buy, you know, like a daughter who I'd want, hey, I'm going to buy you this swimsuit, you know. Would that
Are
be?
you trying to justify it for us or for
No,
you?
I don't. No, I'm saying that here's my point. You and I sell advertising on this radio station, okay?
We do?
We have,
Okay.
at least we try. we have
Oh,
people that tell us that they don't buy radio anymore because radio isn't targeted enough. Because when they're buying, you know, Facebook or whatever, those ads are super targeted. That if you're looking for a person that has, you know, needs a left-handed monkey wrench and a gold-plated cigarette lighter, that there'll be an ad that'll come up that'll have, you know, hey, here's Joe's gold-plated cigarette store and left-handed monkey wrench store, you know, right there. It's in other words, but yet I'm saying the targeting is a miss because I'm never going to buy those swimsuits. They're not targeted at me. I'm not a cross-dresser. You know, if I were, I wouldn't buy those, you know, those fancy ones. I'd go, you know, buy cheap ones, you know. Anyway, but I don't understand it. A lot of things I don't understand.
Ew.
What? What do you mean, ooh?
Nothing.
What's
Just
ooh?
move on.
What's ooh? Did I say something that was ooh?
Just move on.
Move on. What do you want me to move on to? The weather? Oh, it's cold today.
It really is cold.
Now, here we
My
go.
dog even thinks it's cold, and she's an outside dog.
Let's look at some temperature comparisons, okay? I always find this
Which,
interesting.
by the way, we keep her inside.
Why do you do that? Isn't that torture for her?
No, not when it's 2 degrees outside.
It's officially 12 degrees. That's
Yeah, I
the
know,
temperature of
that's
the
what my
airport.
computer says.
But see, once again, we're at the same latitude. Guess what it is in Kansas City?
What?
Single digits. It's 8 in Kansas City. Whatever weather we have, it's worse in Kansas City. And we're at the same latitude. Isn't that weird? Once again, I understand that because of my meteorology classes. But if we look at Anchorage, Alaska, let's go to Anchorage. You know what the temperature is right now in Anchorage?
What?
It's 28.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Not at all, actually.
Why is it warmer in Anchorage? It's 20 degrees warmer in Anchorage than it is in Kansas City, and it's what, 18 degrees or 16 degrees warmer in Anchorage than it is in St. Louis. What's wrong with this picture? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why is it warmer in Anchorage, Alaska? It's the winter. Man, I don't get it. Okay. We're going to take a break. It is, and you're going like, thank heaven, because Brad's going to talk about slinky underwear again, right?
Oh, I'm so excited about that.
It's 6:28.
Brad, are you there? Do you love that song? I love that song. It just sits there and it makes me feel good. I remember when it came out. I was all kerfuffled.
No, I don't know.
They're beating on him like he stole Christmas.
That was actually too soon.
I'm sorry.
Too soon.
Oh, it's too soon.
That one.
No, I do love that song.
I do love that
Yeah.
song.
That is, you know who that is? You know who the artist is on that song?
I do.
It's Sarah Bareilles.
Sarah Bareilles.
Yes. Yeah. I wonder what happened to her. She's like sort of dropped off the face of the earth. You know?
Kind of like Tiffany.
Tiffany's your daughter.
No, Tiffany.
Tiffany's still touring, believe it or not.
Is she?
Oh, yeah.
Because she ain't doing nothing for them malls.
Malls are all gone.
That was her breaking ground, and now she's not even touching them.
People younger go, who's Tiffany? This lady who used to give concerts in malls. Let me look her up real quick on Wikipedia. She's
my age.
No, I don't think she is. Hold on a minute.
Yes, she is.
No, let me look it up here. See,
the people that are my age, I really had no idea they were my age.
No, she's American singer, born and raised in California. She was discovered by South Korean entertainment agency SM at the age of 15. Subsequently moved to South Korea. No, that's not the right one. That's Tiffany Young. That's a different Tiffany. Tiffany Young, Tiffany Radish, Tiffany Darwish.
Some of these people have no idea what we're talking about. None.
Yes. Okay. What year were you born in?
64.
She's much younger than you. She was born in 71. Tiffany, October 7th,
then she's
1971.
older than Tiffany, my Tiffany.
She's age 51. Yes. And matter of fact, it says she was years active 1981 to 1995, and then she started back up in 1999 to present. She's been married twice. She's married now to Ben George, a guy with two first names. Number one, and followed soon after with the former, also claiming that I saw her stand. She says her singles could have been, and I saw him standing there, cover version of the Beatles, I saw her standing there, followed soon after with the former number one song. Although Tiffany's second album, Hold On, Old Friend's Hand, featured a top 10 single charted in the upper register of Billboard 1988, ultimately became platinum selling. It failed to replicate the success of her debut. But I think we're alone now. That was the one. That was her big song, wasn't it?
I think so.
Let me look at the discography here. Discography, Tiffany, Hold My Friend, filmography, 1987. Tiffany Darwish. MCA Records, Tiffany.
She was just known as Tiffany.
Yeah, I think we're alone now. Released in August of 1987. See, what I find fascinating is there's certain names.
What do you find fascinating? I would love to know.
My kids. I fought with my kid's mother at the time over names and all my kids, especially my daughter, because I think that it's interesting when people have very unique names. I know people that have extremely unique names. And those are the kind of people, if you say their first name, everybody knows who you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? If you say Madonna, everybody knows who that is. If you say Cher,
if you say Taft Cap,
who's that?
You don't know who Taft Cap is?
No, who's Taft Cap? It sounds like
the artist formerly known as Prince.
Oh no, that sounded like something in the military. Throw a Taft Cap in there, get those guys.
No, he's Taft Cap.
Oh, okay.
Or he was.
You know my ex-brother.
He changed it though.
Well, once again.
He changed it after Taft. First, he changed it to Taft Cap, and then he changed it to something else, and he wasn't Taft Cap anymore.
Waldo. He became Waldo. Everybody goes, "Where's Waldo?"
He did not become Waldo.
He did become Waldo,
and he was very well loved and beloved in his city where he lived.
Had yes. Because he paid everybody's car payment.
Oh,
didn't you know that?
I didn't.
Yeah, if he had run ads in a local radio station. Hi, this is Prince. Yeah, I live right here in the Twin Cities. And you know what? Send me your car payment. I'll pay it for you. And people sent him their car payment. He'd pay it.
I don't know. It sounds lovely, but I don't think that you're telling me the truth.
What? Ask anybody who lives in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Here, I'll look it up.
I'll just ask Wisconsin. My people in Wisconsin.
Well, they wouldn't know. They're in Wisconsin. They're full of cheese.
No, they would know.
Let me go.
Yeah.
Hold it. Let me go. Prince. Let me go right here. I'll go Prince. Prince is going to give me all the different things. Prince is, Prince. Oh, I don't want.
Prince.
Prince is a male ruler. Oh, we can't say that anymore, can we? Male ruler. I can't. What? There.
Oh, please. Stop it.
We can't. Prince musician. Okay, he was born in Prince Rogers Nelson. His real first name was Prince. I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Prince Rogers Nelson, born in 1958, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Musical career, funk rock, R&B, pop, soul.
So he was older than I was. My girlfriend, Janie, she just absolutely adored that man.
Born and raised in Minneapolis, Prince signed a record deal with Warner Brothers Records at the age of 19, soon releasing the album For You in 1978. He's most noted in the early 2000s for paying everyone's car payment in Minneapolis and St. Paul. See, I'm telling you, it's right there in Wikipedia.
Uh-huh.
I read it right off the page.
I don't doubt you.
you always doubt me. What are you talking about?
I clarified.
I go in the
specificity is the key.
I go in the other room last break, and I go in the other room, and I've got another radio station playing. I'll admit it, and I'm listening to. Matter of fact, I have 2 other radio stations playing at the exact same time.
Awesome.
Am I a radio nerd or what? And the news report is on one of them. They've now fired 5, or they've already fired the 5 police dudes down in Memphis that beat up that poor guy or ultimately killed him. Didn't kill him right away. They fired the 2 paramedics. They're gone now because they didn't aid. Supposedly they didn't aid. They didn't aid him quick enough. They fired a lieutenant. They fired somebody else in the fire department, and they're looking at firing 3 more police. I'm going like, pretty soon there's going to be nobody.
It's the whole squad.
There's going to be nobody left in Memphis. See, I'm one of these contrarian kind of guys. No,
you're not.
I am a contrarian.
You're an ultimate optimist.
No, I am an ultimate optimist. But see,
Are you?
here's what we need to do. We need to pick a city, and I volunteer St. Louis. And here's what we need to do. We need to say to all the police, we bring them together, every single police officer. We have an all-hands-on-deck meeting, every single city police officer. We take them into, like, the Kiel Opera House or something like that where Ed Golterman could, ride herd over them.
Oh, leave him alone.
We take them into
that
a room.
Poor man.
And the mayor gets up in front of them and says, police officers, we are going to try an experiment. Each one of you, we have bought you a ticket, and right this time of the year, we bought you a ticket to the Bahamas, and we bought a ticket for you and your spouse and or significant other, and we are going to let you all go to the Bahamas. See, and today is the 31st. It would work if she had this meeting today. Today, we're going to let you all go to the Bahamas for all of February. And one of the cops would raise a hand and go, well, Mayor, that means there'd be no police on the streets. That's right. No police on the street for the next 28 days. This is a leap year. I don't think it is. I think it's a regular year. 28 days. Starting tomorrow, no police on the street. You are all going to go to Bahamas, and we'll give you a per diem where you can, $500 per day. You can eat well. You can drink well. You could go to the spa with your significant other. You can have, manicures, pedicures, pedicures, whatever you want. You can have all that stuff. And we'll see you back here on March 1st. And to see what would happen with the city. And then she would go on the air like tomorrow and say, hi, this is Mayor Tashara Jones. And our police work hard. They work so hard. I've given them a month off. Yes, every single police officer in the city of St. Louis have given a month off. So no more crimes. You people out there, be good, because there's not going to be any police watching you. You people on the road, especially Shelley Barr, don't drive fast on the highways, because there's not going to be anybody to pull you over and give you a speeding ticket. And you guys who are bank robbers, well, you just don't rob a bank for the next month. And you murderers, you rapists, you robbers, you thieves, you arsonists, just take the month off and just don't cause any problem. And we'll be back here, and we'll see how we'll convene back here on March 1st. We'll see how it did. What do you think would happen? No, seriously, what do you think would happen? There's one of 2 things that would happen. Everybody
would either work splendidly.
Yes, exactly.
Or it will be FUBAR.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Can't even say it.
I couldn't agree with you more.
What's a little exponentially?
FUBAR times 2. How's that?
More than that.
FUBAR times 10. Okay. So the idea being was that the criminals would go like, hold on a minute. Is this a trap? Is there something we don't know about? Is she going to hire like FBI guys and they're just going to patrol the streets? And she come back on, no, I heard you ask that question. Nope, I'm not hiring any security officers or any FBI agents. There is no police protection in the city of St. Louis from February 1st to the end of February. Yes, no police protection, no security guards, nobody. It's just citizens. So once again, a lot of the criminals would go like, I don't know. Maybe we won't carjack anybody for a while. But
Maybe I won't carjack anybody for a while.
At least for a couple of days, see what the hell happens, right?
Okay.
Maybe we won't break into those cars at the Armory or the new Foundry, or we won't break into the cars that people are going to watch the Blues games. We won't do any of that kind of stuff. We won't try to, we won't steal anything. We won't touch a Hyundai or a Kia for the next 28 days. Hands off. We're not touching those cars.
No, that was funny.
Do you think the opposite would happen, that it would just be crazy mayhem, bedlam, just crazy weird, everything just goes nuts? Seriously, which one do you think?
I don't know. It could go either way.
See,
Seriously.
there's psychiatrists that claim that criminals really deep down inside want to be caught. You know what I mean? They have this, there's something in their psyche that's saying, okay, I'm going to do this, and I really don't want to get caught, but in their subconscious mind, they're going like, I want to get caught. And, you know what I mean? But they still do it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, think about that in day-to-day life. There are things like, you driving like 100 miles an hour down the highway, I mean, I think in your mind, you're going like...
I don't drive that fast. The next time you get in my car, I'm going to lock the doors where you can't get out.
Ooh.
And we will sit there. Shut up. And we will sit there and we will drive 100 miles.
100 miles an hour, like you normally do, right?
The difference.
Like 100 miles an hour, like you normally drive. Okay, we have to take a break.
Such a man-child.
We have to get ready for the meeting today with Tacharja, and she's coming on at 7 o'clock to give her speech about how she's letting all the police have a vacation for a month. It's 6:47. It is BS.Show, the super clean version of their song where there's a whole section of the lyrics that are gone. It's just silence. There's no...
Hilarious.
That's the version. Believe it or not, that is the version that is the video. That's the video version. If you watch the official video, I think it's still up there. It's like gazillion million hits now. That's the official video version that has all the whole lines of lyrics that have just been eliminated, just taken right out.
The whole lines of lyrics.
And see, now, here's what's interesting. I'm going to say something that some people are maybe offended by, and other people go, yeah, that Brad, he's right. See, that's...
So what is that different? How?
Thank you. That's old school Nelly. Okay, that's just old school.
It was. And I heard country grammar the other day.
Right.
OMG.
Yeah, I know.
I just don't even know what to say.
Well, okay.
Nelly, do you kiss your mother with that mouth?
Okay, here we go. In one part of the lyrics, and to give you an idea, this is pre-Kim Kardashian, okay?
Uh-huh.
He gives a woman's measurements, I wrote it down here, is 36, 24, 35, okay? That is old school. If he were to redo that song, the new measurements would be 36, 24, 45.
That's true.
That would be the new measurements.
I like big butts that
right?
cannot lie.
Am I kidding? I mean,
nope.
That's the post-Kim Kardashian era.
Yep.
Where, it's just, God, things are so weird.
They really are weird.
I go back to the old thing, the Rubenesque. And if you know what Rubenesque art is, Ruben was this artist who drew all these, who painted all these women who were like royalty nude, okay? And now, shall we say, they are a little bit on the heavy side, okay? Now, back in the day, and this is how things have turned around, back in the day, it was... for women, at least, it was a sign of wealth if you were overweight. Because
is?
Weight was a sign of wealth.
Weight was a sign of wealth because that means that you had enough money to afford food.
Exactly. You had tons of food available to you, and you ate and ate and ate. And the poor, serfs, the poor peasants, they were like, skin and bones because they didn't get enough nourishment. But yet the rich people, the royalty, the women who were like established women, and that was the whole deal. And people are going like, okay, and what's happened now? It's just the opposite. You know, the women who everybody wants, she's got to be, they have to be 5'2", weigh 110 pounds, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we look at as beauty now. And yet, if you look at some woman who's like 5'2" and weighs like 160, oh my God, she's way too heavy. But back then, that would have been voluptuous. That would have been Rubenesque.
That's what I am, Rubenesque.
No, but see, isn't how weird things change like that? I mean,
it is.
It used to be like, okay, look at like the city of St. Louis, okay? Once upon seriously, once upon a time, nobody wanted to live downtown, okay? Nobody lived downtown. Then all of a sudden,
that's because that's where all the poor people lived.
Well, you're sort of right. You're correct.
I know. My mom lived down there. She lived on 18th and Picker.
Well, not all the poor people, but the rich people, like for example, the Bushes. They lived out at Bush's farm, because of the fact that that's when, matter of fact, I don't know if you know this crazy story. You know the Bevo Mill, you know where the Bevo Mill was built, where it's at?
Yes.
It's halfway between the brewery and, not Bush's farm, Grant's farm. It's halfway between the brewery and Grant's farm. When they would go home at night, they would stop at the Bevo Mill to eat because it was halfway point, and then they would take their carriage. They'd ride the rest of the way out to Grant's farm.
I
okay?
would love to have lived during that time.
Back in the 1800s?
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah.
No thanks. Why would you want to live in the 1800s?
I don't know.
You had diseases?
I would have loved to have lived in the 1900s.
You did live in the 1900s.
No, I'm talking before.
You were born in the 1900s.
Like 1920, 1930.
With Prohibition and all the Depression and things like that? No, the Depression?
I would be a flapper, baby.
Oh my! But see, that was the Roaring 20s. That was the early 20s. When you get into the late 20s, the wheels fell off. That's when the stock market crashed.
That's when my mother was born.
What year?
She was, I'm sorry, 29.
My dad was born in 20. My dad would be 122 years old today. Isn't that? No, he'd be 102 years old if he were still alive. He was born in January. Born this month. Yeah. Anyway, you would really want to be back in those days?
Oh, absolutely.
No, thank you. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, I'm
the girl that your mother warned you about.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, so many things.
My mom warned me
but
about...
I am the girl that your mother warned you about.
My mom warned me about the homecoming queen.
I'm sure there was a reason for that.
My mom said to me one day, she says, I know all you young boys yearn after that homecoming queen, but you know what? In 10 years, she'll be doing tricks and she'll have heroin lines all up and down her arms. That's my mom.
She did not say that. No, she didn't. You just pop that out.
That was my mom. My mom was the realist. Yes, she'll be mainlining heroin.
She would have said that.
She'll find her dead in a trash bin someplace. That's what's happened to the prom queen. Okay, Mom. Thanks. Thanks for that word of advice. I told you my mom was very negative.
Boy, I would have loved to have met her.
She would have had a field day with you.
Yeah, I'm sure she would. My husband's mom goes, I go, what did she say? Because she was from the South.
Yeah.
And she says, she's not real domestic, is she, son?
Okay, we have to take a break at 6:59.
Have you heard about Salt River Automotive? Not only are we open for business and ready to serve you, we are sponsors of the BS in the Morning Show on Westplex 107.1. Check us out on Facebook at Salt River Automotive LLC. See you soon.